and welcome back to this show. Now, today we're going to be discussing around the topic of how not to lose your land or your property after buying. How do you ensure that your property remains yours even after buying? Is it by putting a fence, a short fence or an L fence? Or is it by putting the beacons or capping the beacons? How exactly can you ensure that your property remains yours even after buying, right? That is the conversation we're going to be having today. And my name is Anozie, as you know, and I am your favorite real estate consultant. I'm also your guy when it comes to property. And today on this show, I'm with my colleague. He's a property lawyer and also a real estate entrepreneur. He's going to be introducing himself in a moment. If you are new on this channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, because I'm sure you're really liking the conversation, right? Yes, I know you like it already. So please hit the like buttons and subscribe to this channel so that you get updates on this type of show as we go along. So I'm going to be handing over to my colleague so that he pilots this conversation as we ask questions. If you have any question or any clarity, please leave it in the comments section. And welcome, Mr. Ray.
Hello viewers, my name is Raymond Ijeomah and I am a real estate entrepreneur as well as a property lawyer. All right, and today we are going to be having a very important conversation, and trust me, you do not want to miss any point in this conversation. And absolutely. I really can't wait. I'm so excited about sharing my thoughts. I mean, also Jeff sharing his thoughts on the subject matter. So come on, stay on the channel and enjoy it to the end.
Now, I get this question all the time, Jeff. If I buy this land now, hope tomorrow I'll not hear story. Or Jeff, I remember a client of mine actually even told me that he has bought a property somewhere in my city. I'm based in Enugu State, Nigeria, and that after a while, the land, something, he started hearing stories that the governor has taken up the land and so many things. Please tell us, how do you ensure that your land remains yours? Like, how do you make sure that you don't lose your property, right, after purchasing, right? Please shed a little light on this for us. Oh, guys, before we go on, this show is powered by Fortry Real Limited. It's your number one real estate company in Nigeria. Our goal, our drive is to help you through your real estate investment journey. We want to be with you all the way. We want to help you through acquiring the land, through identifying it, through making sure it's good, and through acquiring it, right? And through helping you perfect your titles and make sure that the land stays with you. With the few information you'll be hearing today, I'm sure you would know how this is done, right? And of course, our joy at the end of the day will be that you let us help you handle these things. All right, sir, please go on.
All right, welcome again. So let's go right in. The conversation is going to be two-sided, as it were, and I'm going to drive you through, going to walk you through the conversation, and I need you to follow me carefully. There's no specific pattern to the conversation, but just stay in touch and you will get the gist. I'd like to start by establishing the premise upon which the conversation is going to rest, and it comes from the Land Use Act. The Land Use Act was enacted in 1978. All right, and in all sincerity, I looked in deeper into the Land Use Act, the history, the surrounding circumstances around when it was enacted, and I realized that the Land Use Act was born out of a need. The problem at the time was that the rich kept on acquiring very large expanse of land, and upon doing that, a lot of it was even very, very difficult for the ordinary Nigerian to acquire properties. Yeah. It was just going way on the high side, and then it was a one-sided deal always. All right, but the land within Nigeria belong to Nigerians. So how come a few individuals only held to this? And then in fact, there were a lot of publications around the time, people complaining about how just a few persons, and to summarize the whole thing, as well as a few other issues that around the period, that led to the Obasanjo government looking into this issue, and then the committee was set up. Of course, you understand the whole committee thing, and eventually the Land Use Act was considered the solution. I mean, I have my reservation, a lot of reservations about the Land Use Act, especially with the realities of today. But as it is right now, it is what it is, and we need to have a conversation around that line. And then the very first session, the section 1 of the Land Use Act, it provides that, subject to the provisions of this act, this very act, the Land Use Act, all land comprised in the territory of each state in the federation are hereby vested in the governor of that state, and such land shall be held in trust and administered for the use and common benefit. You get that part? For the use and common benefit of all Nigerians. That is the objective behind the land. You can see it from the first section of the act, that there was an intent to ensure that all lands in Nigeria is used for the common benefit of all Nigerians in accordance with the provisions of this act. That is the foundation upon which the act was designed. And what the act, I mean, we can't look at all the sections of the act, but what the act now envisages is, whenever you get a land, the right word in the act is prior to, before you seek consent and do all of that. But to approach somebody that you want to buy land, haven't bought that land, you will now apply for a CFO and all of that. All right. So the analogy is, how we get married. We do marriage things here. You want to get married to a lady, you walk up to her, sort out that part, and then you follow up on the family, and you pay the bride price. Can that get you married, Mr. Jeff? Does that make you a married man? Pay bride price, meet the lady, and meet the family, pay bride price. Does that make you married?
Well, traditionally, yes, but not completely.
Not completely. Why do you say so?
Well, because you ought to, there are 3 levels of marriage, and that's another thing. There are 3 levels to getting married. There's the spiritual, there's the traditional, and then there's the physical. Okay. Yeah, so...
You need to consume.
You need to consummate the marriage.
And of course, consummation is critical to the traditional right. But I haven't paid the woman's bride price, met the family, and consummated the marriage. Does he make you married?
Yes, it does.
Is the woman your wife?
Yes, she is.
So what is the essence behind doing marriage at the registry as under the Matrimonial Causes Act? Now the point is, that is what it looks like for this land transaction thing. I haven't bought from the person. I'm using this as an analogy, please. I haven't bought from the person. The land is yours. All right, as transaction, but you might decide to go a step further to not lose the land or secure the land, and obey the provisions of the Land Use Act, which now registers your interest and inputs your name on a database that this person is now the legal owner of that land. The same way you can marry a woman traditionally and decide not to go to the registry to bring both of you under the auspices of, or under the legal umbrella of the law. Right?
Yes.
So it doesn't stop the person that did ordinary marriage from not being the owner of the wife. All right. But it's simply for that, especially, for the woman, these days when people get divorced, especially from outside, you just share the man's property. So there's a lot of protection, legal attached to marriage by coming on that land, Matrimonial Causes Act. Now, the same thing applies in this context. You buy a land from an individual, a community, or a real estate company, whoever. Having done that, you can go a step further by bringing yourself under the provisions of the Land Use Act. And that is a strategy to not losing your land because it makes your interest legal. What you did initially was play equitable. Moving forward to bring it under the umbrella of the Land Use Act, you make your land, your interest legal. You seal it. And then that way you are protected because the owner, by virtue of what I read, the owner of the land, all lands within the territories, I mean, there are also the context of local governments where the customary right of occupancy applies. But the summary of it is that you now come under the umbrella of the Land Use Act, which now protects you. Okay.
Beautiful. This is fantastic already. I hope you're learning. I'm sure you are learning. If you also have questions, please leave it in the comments. We will do a second version of this particular video because I think this is critical. Now, Ray, does a C of O in itself guarantee that land is yours for life? Okay, before that, okay, let's just add that. Does a C of O in itself, right, guarantee that land is yours for life?
Okay, a C of O certifies. It is a certificate. It certifies your right to occupy and use that land for a period of 99 years. When you go to the university, when you graduate, the certificate that they give to you as BSc, mine was LLB, is to certify that I am now a lawyer. Now, I won't own that land, and that will be the next conversation, which is, in my opinion, the most critical angle of this conversation, which we are going to talk about after a very short conversation. Am I correct, Jeff?
Yeah, sure.
To address that critical angle, which for me is the most important after this our short conversation.
All right. Thank you. Now, before we go on to the final part of this conversation, where we're going to wrap it all in and then do a summary of this whole conversation, we're just going to be sharing with you some of our properties. A couple of people have been asking about our property. Okay, what kind of properties do you have, and where are they, and what is the details around? That's what we're going to be sharing with you in a few minutes. And before we go on, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and I'm sure you're liking this video. Kindly share it with your friends. Everybody that you know is going to buy a property or has bought a property or is about to buy a property. All right, please share this video with all of them. All right, so Barrister Ray, what properties do you have for us today?
I mean, I always get confused anytime I want to do this part because there are just a lot of them. I'll pick two today.
Okay.
And don't forget that we have these in Enugu, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Benin City, and then of course we're also available to go over and beyond for you. All right, so the two properties I'm bringing your way today, they are both in Benin City, and one of them is along Ugbo Village Road. Ugbo Village Road is a very popular place in Benin. It connects to, it's like 7 minutes to Ajib Junction, and takes you to first Ugbo, second Ugbo, Limit Road. And Ugbo Village Road is a new, not exactly new. The only thing that happened in that area was that the road was not graded at the point. And after the road was graded, everything just boom in the whole area.
Wow.
And I have this about 100 plots. 2 have been sold already, available for sale there. And from where the land is to the junction is just like 5 minutes. From the place, if you take a keke, it's 5 minutes to Ugbo Village Junction. And the land has a C of O and is going for just 8 million naira. It's initially put at 9 million naira negotiable, but it is straight up going for 8 million naira. This property is amazing. Wow. Amazing. 8 million naira. And then the second one is the UBTH Estate, Phase 2. The UBTH Estate. UBTH means University of Benin Teaching Hospital.
Okay.
All right. They have estates. The Phase 1 is sold out. For these two properties I'm talking about, I have videos a drive through to the lands on my YouTube channel.
Awesome.
You can check that out. I'll drop a link. All right. And so this other one, the UBTH Phase 2, the UBTH Estate Phase 2, is another amazing property that it is just behind the University of Benin. Just behind the University of Benin. From in fact, if you take to the back gates of the University of Benin, it is 1 minute into the university. If it takes to the front side, like 3 minutes to the university. The UBTH itself, which is the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, is their sharing boundary. You know, so it's just an amazing property. The area is, I can't start giving out the plenty details. So imagine where the University of Benin is and owning a land within an estate just around the 5 minutes in that region. All right, this particular land has a right of occupancy and it is going for between 5 million to 7 million naira. And if you're closer to the road, it's for 7 million naira. If you're within the deeper part of the estate, it's going for around 5 million naira. And these two properties are absolutely amazing. I'll leave it there.
All right, thank you so much. I'm going to be sharing just three properties. I will hurriedly share them so that you get to see. I think these are the hottest property for this week for me. Hot, like very hot, smoking hot. Okay, so the first one is in Lagos. Actually, is the Lagoon Front Estate. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, this is the hottest product in Lagos, the hottest estate in Lagos as we speak. It's actually a lagoon front, just as the name goes. Look at that, lagoon front. I actually had to cover my client's image so that you don't see it. So, I mean, this property is just amazing. You know that development is moving from, real estate is moving from Ibejuleki now to Ekpe. For those that are following the trends of real estate in Lagos, it's moving from Ibejuleki. Before it was at VI, from VI to Lekki, from Lekki to Aja, from Aja to Ibejuleki, from Ibejuleki now to Ekpe. That's how it's going, right? And this particular property, I'm going to do a video around it. I'll drop it in my channel so that you get to see an aerial view of the place. It's the Lagoon Front Estate. It's the estate. The estate is new. It's quite fresh from the stables of Landmark Realties. It is fresh. It's hot. It has a C of O and the governor's consent. How cool! It's a very nice place. So half a plot, that's the 300 square meters, is going for just 3 million naira today, outright payment. 3 million, like you can't believe it. It's literally a lagoon front, like it's a beachside estate, and it's dry land, 100% dry land. It's very, I mean, it's amazing. It's just hot. Then a full plot is 600 square meters. It's going for 6 million naira. And this is a promo price. Is at this amount because of the time frame. It was just launched a few months ago, like 2 months ago. All right, the estate was just launched a few months ago. If you know the Queen's Estate and the other beachfront estates, they are the owners of those estates. Those estates sold out in 3 months. Each of them sold out in 3 months. So that's how hot their products are. And of course, if you buy from Hot Rail, you get a discount. I'm going to be telling you the discount when you call me. All right. So that is that for this. It's a 3 million. It has a C of O and a governor's consent. And people are buying already. This is a subscription from a client of mine, you see. All right. Then back here in Enugu, I'm going to talk about two Eastern Homes. I've talked about Eastern Homes a couple of times on this channel. Eastern Homes is one of the cheapest, most affordable C of O lands in Enugu, in my opinion. Verified, literally verified land. And it's actually selling out fast. Eastern Homes is selling out pretty fast. All right. It used to be 800,000 naira in March. By May, it went to 1.2 million, and now it's at 1.5 million. So imagine what it will be by the end of this year, right? The owner doesn't want to make a lot of money, actually, in my opinion, because the place is hot, very nice. Ugwomunike, just after Caritas University, after the market. They're building a market there right now. So just after the market, you find the estate. So 1.5 million naira. Give me a call on about that from now. And finally, one of the hottest estates currently in Enugu at Centenary City is an estate called Max Heights. Max Heights estate is they're currently fencing it. They've not begun to sell. I mean, this information is privy to just a few of us in Enugu. They've not begun to sell. However, they called a couple of us and told us that, okay, they're opening pre-sales to us, okay? And pre-sale means you're getting it at a very good rate. Currently, it's at 7.5 million naira. It has a registered survey and of course an irrevocable power of attorney. They're actually currently working on the COO. And if you know P1 is actually an estate by P1 Group. And if you know P1 estates, especially around here, they all have the COO. They make sure that their estates have COOs, right? So this particular estate is hot. It's at 7.5 million naira. It's in a very, very sweet location. Is at Centenary City, right in the midst of the whole. I mean, where it is, most estates there go for 10 million naira minimum. Of course, if you know Enugu very well, you know that. All right. So these are the three I'm bringing your way today. I hope you grab on these opportunities. I think they are very, very sweet opportunities. All right. And give us a call. Check the number. Call us today. All right. So that we can discuss your payment plans and everything, all right, so that you don't miss out on these opportunities. I mean, I know you love us, right? Yes, you do, because we bring you good opportunities. Awesome. So we're talking about how not to lose your lands, after buying. How do you ensure that this land stays with you? This is the conversation we are talking about today. In case you're just joining us, I'm Jeff Anozie, and with me is my colleague, a property lawyer, and a real estate entrepreneur, and this is what our conversation is about today. If you're just meeting us for the first time, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. If you're a returning viewer, we love you, we adore you, we cherish you. We say keep coming, and keep coming. You are the reason why we are here. All right, thank you so much. So moving on, sir, we're talking about how not to lose your land after buying. How do you ensure the land stays with you? All right. And before we went on that break, we're trying to have a conversation around if a COO is a guarantee that your land is, because everybody asks, hope it has COO. Is COO in itself a guarantee around it? Or what can you do? What can you do probably before buying the property, whilst doing the documentation, and then after buying, what exactly can you do to ensure that, in a nutshell, like in a few minutes, because our time is actually running up?
Okay, very, very quickly before I talk about that, the summary of what I said initially in the first part of this session is, if the land you are buying has a CFO, then you have to register your own title. It means that you register your deed. In summary, it is the governor's consent.
Yeah.
Ensure that the governor consents to the transaction. Then if the land doesn't have a CFO, you can decide to apply for a CFO. Fortunately Limited can help you do all of that. Take that stress away from you, right? So that's the summary of that first angle of the conversation. However, I like to say it like this, that CFO is not your bata of the matter. It is not.
Absolutely.
The Oga Bata of the matter is, what I mean by Oga Bata, in case you have not been in Nigeria for a long while, what I mean by that is the most important part, the most important thing is not the CFO. The most important thing is that the land is genuine.
Awesome.
The land is a good land, has a good title. And I on my channel, I talked about the most important legal principle that applies to all real estate transactions. And the summary of that conversation is that it comes from the principle of you cannot give what you do not have. Nemo that could not have it. You can't give what you do not have. So part of what you should understand is, did you buy from the right person? Because if you don't buy from the right person, even if you go ahead to apply for a CFO and CFO is granted to you, because really, I I said I was not going to talk towards the negative, but there's no investigation, core investigation around ensuring that who you bought from is genuine. So anybody who comes to present make application for a COFO, register a title, they just assume that, oh, it's this person that owns the land and all of that. And because of that, they just grant a COFO. Yeah. Now you can wrongly get COFO. So if you bought from the wrong person and then you apply for a COFO, when the right person discovers and peradventure goes to court, the court will gladly grant title to the owner, whether he or she has a COFO or not. The most important thing is that the person has genuine title. The person is the owner of that land. So why shouting and screaming CFO? Another important part you want to be careful to pay attention to is the land genuine. Yeah. All right, and granting a CFO is just there's this word I'm looking for now. It's a prima facie evidence. It's a way of saying that, the land is genuine because government has given the land, but there is more to it. Yeah. All right, so that's basically what I needed to say. So how do you further secure your land? In summary, apply for CFO, there's no CFO. Ensure the land is genuine before you do that. And if the land has its CFO already, you search and check for, apply for governor's consent thereafter. And of course, you can also fence your land, build on it.
All right. Thank you so much. I hope you learned something today. Thank you so much, Ray. I hope you learned something today. If you did, please let us know in the comments. If there was anything we left out, please write it down also in that comment box there. We would like to read from you. All right. So at this point, we're just going to wrap up today's segment of this conversation. Remember, this is brought to you by Fortune Ray Limited, your number one or trusted real estate company here in Nigeria. And again, our goal is to help you through this process. We want to make sure that your real estate investment journey is safe, is profitable, and is just peaceful, like you don't have any issues at all, right? As much as possible. All right. So thank you so much for watching. Again, if you've not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and like this video. So thank you so much for watching and enjoy a fantastic day. Bye for now.